Hey everybody, it's Angelina. Today I'm going to be doing a autumn bucket list video. I make an autumn bucket list every autumn. Autumn is my favorite season, and so I always want to make sure I get the most out of it every single year. So I make a bucket list every season and I want to share it with you. There's about 50 things on my bucket list. I have the list right here. It's in my autumn little scrapbook I have, where I have like a collage I made a couple years ago, and it's just like a little fall scrapbook that I keep, and I make a bucket list every year. So if you're interested in that and you are ready for some autumn vibes, it's September 1st when I'm filming this, then stick around and let's get into it. First I have on the list is the apple orchard. Going to an apple orchard. I haven't picked apples since I was probably in like kindergarten, but it's something that I've wanted to do again since. I don't know if I'll get a chance this year, but I feel like it's one of those staple things to do in autumn. Also, I try really hard to put things that I don't see on like every list. Hopefully I have some things that you're not gonna see on in other people's videos, but there's only so many things to do. Next we have autumn arts and crafts. So pumpkin painting, crocheting, coloring. Last year I painted pumpkins for the first time. I did it by myself, and it was so fun to do. And I feel like I got to be way more creative than I do with like carving a pumpkin. I can't crochet, but if you can, you know, that's a fun thing to do. In coloring, I just think like I one year printed out autumn like coloring sheets, the ones that you would do like in second grade or kindergarten and stuff that they would have at school. And it's just a fun like nostalgic autumn activity to do, especially if you're older. I know a lot of people like autumn for the nostalgia factor, so that's one thing to do, is do the like coloring sheets and that you would do as a kid, or you can get like the fancy like adult coloring books. Do autumn / Halloween tier list. I'm sure if you watch YouTube you've seen people do like the tier list where they are on the tier list maker and they rank things, and so I always find it fun to just like randomly go on there and just do them. And so like if you want to like have some computer time or whatever, or do it with like your family, get together and do like Halloween candy or Halloween costumes or Thanksgiving foods, rank them. And like if you do it with like a group of people, you all have to agree on the ranking, and it's just like a fun autumn time, Halloween time activity to do. Next is make an autumn playlist. This is like the first thing I do to get ready for each season, is I make a playlist based off of it. I actually have a playlist on my Apple Music that I call my like ultimate autumn car playlist, and it has like over like 400 songs, and I play it every time I go in the car. Maybe I'll link it, but it's just like a super long playlist that I just listen to whenever I'm in the car in the autumn time. Next is get autumn scented candles. Obviously this is kind of like an obvious one to do, especially if you live in a place that maybe doesn't actually get the like changing, the seasons don't change for you. Get autumn candles and you can still get that like feeling in your own home. I get a lot of my candles from Bath and Body Works and Target, and that's a good thing to do also like at the beginning of the season or at the transition, where it's still not that like autumny outside, just to like prepare yourself. Next is go back to school shopping. I'm sure a lot of us that are watching this aren't in school anymore. I just think it's another thing that's so nostalgic. You know, if you're a writer, like I like to write, just going to the store and looking at the back to school section, because obviously also they usually are having like sales and stuff, so like getting pens and notebooks and stuff. I tend to do that every year. I buy like one of those like 99-cent notebooks, and just like, again, like a nostalgia, or if you're still in school, going back to school shopping, you know. Next is Big Apple Cider Donuts. Obviously, you can going to the cider mill and getting donuts, or going to the store, but try making them yourself, which I'm planning on doing actually later today. Just find a recipe. I find it so difficult to like make donuts, but it's not like, it's one of, for to me, it's one of the most like, especially if you're trying to make them like fried and stuff, but it's still fun. So like, try making your own donuts. Next is binge watch autumn aesthetic shows. So shows that give you that autumn vibe. This is something I really enjoy doing. You can pick a show, maybe show you a rewatch or something, or find a new one. But I'm watching Gossip Girl right now for the first time, and that kind of has like autumn vibes to me. I know a lot of people like Gilmore Girls. Friday Night Lights, if you're into like the football, like autumn type thing. Anne with an E is another one that I hear a lot about. Or obviously you can watch like a more like scary, binge watch a more scary Halloween show. Like a good one I like, I haven't watched it that much in the autumn time, but I feel like the show Ghost, not the UK version, the US version. I like the US version better. I feel like that would be a good autumn watch. It's about like some ghosts that live in like it's like vintage like old mansion, and the lady who lives at the mansion can see them, and yeah, they get into like ghost shenanigans. But I think it's a really good show if you haven't seen it, especially for the autumn time, especially because they have pretty good Halloween episodes. Yeah, I'm sure you can find like a list of autumn. I would go into more, but oh, also Over the Garden Wall. It's like a limited series. I can't remember what streaming service it's on, but that is a great watch for autumn, and it's quick. Like you can watch, because the episodes are only like 15 minutes or whatever, so you can like watch it all at once, and it will pretty much be like you're watching a movie. Next is go to bookstores, little libraries, or just the library. This is one of my favorite things to do during the holiday season, whether it's to shop, whether it's to go like holiday shopping. Like I love getting people presents from like Barnes and Noble, or you check out like more local bookstores, or you can go to little libraries, which is another one of my favorite things to do. If you don't know what little libraries are, it's like people can put in front of their houses like little, sometimes people make them into different things. Sometimes they're shaped like actual little houses, sometimes it's just like a wooden box or something, but people put books in there, and you can go there and you can get a book for free. And usually they want you to get a book and give a book. So like if you have some books you're trying to get rid of, but you don't feel like going through the hassle of having to go and donate them to a thrift store or trying to sell them or whatever, you can go to the little library and you can put your books in, and you can see what they have and take a book. And you can like, I don't know if there's an app, but I know there's something that you can, like a website or something that you can look and see what little libraries are around you. I think they're so cute, and it also could be a cute little adventure. If you like looking at like the leaves in the neighborhoods, you know, go get a like coffee or something, put on some phone music, and go drive around to little libraries around you and check out the books. You don't even have to like, if you really don't feel like getting a book, you can just go and like see what books there are. You never know, you know. Or you can just go to the library, which is something I think people need to do much more. There's a library by me that's literally always closed, so I don't really get to go to the library that much because the library is literally always closed. Yeah, just going to the library, don't have to check anything out, just going and sitting, you know, read a book there, go on your computer. A lot of people tend to, I feel like, go to coffee shops now to like do work, but I'm like, libraries I feel like are much more calmer spaces. Next is have a campfire or a bonfire. This is something I like always want to do, but I can't remember the last time I got to do like an autumn bonfire or campfire. But I love the thought of it, like just everyone gathered around the fire at night making s'mores, hot dogs, whatever. I just love that feeling. So, and I feel like a campfire, I feel like it's such a summer thing. and it's really associated with summer. But I feel like the campfire is like perfect for like autumn, especially for like beginning like September, like the autumn equinox, where it's like just starting to get chilly, so you're not like out there freezing your ass off, but you're also not like out there like hot because it's already like hot outside. Next is to change summer clothes to fall. I really every year have to like keep myself back from doing this like right when it gets to September, because obviously like the weather doesn't change immediately because it's still technically summer, but I always like want to get my sweaters out so fast and put all my summer clothes away. But then in like but then it's like still in like the 90s and the 80s. But obviously this is something to do, or you can slowly transition at your clothes, or you can wait till the first day of autumn, which I think is like on the 22nd this year, and then do a full closet turnaround or whatever. Next is go to the cider mill. This is my favorite thing to do during the autumn. I try to go to as many as I possibly can, you know, to get the cider and donuts, to wander around the area, because usually it's in a more rural area. I try to find ones that have like farms at them too, so you can get like your 2-in-1, get your cider mill, get your cider, and then go and look at like the farm animals. Next is try coffee shop autumn menus. So obviously Starbucks and Dunkin' are probably the biggest for they're the biggest coffee brands, I guess, and they always have like their pumpkin and their autumn flavors. But you can also go to some local coffee shops and see if they have their own pumpkin spice, because to me personally, I feel like, especially pumpkin spice, I feel like it tastes different every every coffee shop I go to. It always tastes slightly different at each one, so like going and trying each place's coffee, autumn coffee. Next is go through a corn maze. I love corn mazes, except for when I end up going and it's like super hot and then I'm stuck in a corn maze. But I love corn mazes, but a lot of like my mom doesn't really like them, but I love them, so I don't get to go in them that much because I usually go to cider mills and stuff that have them with her, and she doesn't always like it, or they cost money. But I love a corn maze, especially when you're with a group of people. Yeah, I know they also, some places have like hay mazes, like where it's like hay, so that's another thing. But had corn mazes. Next is decorate for fall. I usually decorate for fall like right after, like my sister's birthday is like August 15th, and I usually decorate right after her birthday because she really likes autumn, so like I decorate for autumn like right after her birthday. But I haven't this year because it's just been so hot, and I've also had just like a lot of stuff going on. But I'm usually like decorating for fall like the first thing I'm trying to do as soon as it hits like August. I think I'm probably gonna do it tomorrow. And also like decorating your own room for fall I think is really fun, just so you have it in your own space also, especially if you live with your family. Just having your own little space be like decorated how you would want it decorated for autumn. Next is get a disposable camera. I usually like always have like one disposable camera. I don't have one right now, but it's so much fun just to have a disposable camera, especially I feel like it's like nostalgic, at least for me, because those were the cameras that we used to get when we were little. They were much cheaper then. I think one of the reasons why I would have a disposable camera 24/7 if they were still cheap, but now they cost like $15 for one of them. But just like getting a disposable camera, going and keeping it with you all season, taking pictures. And the best thing to me about disposable cameras is that you tend to, like, especially if you have it for like a long period of time, you tend to forget what you took a picture of sometimes. So then when you get them developed, it's like sometimes like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that I don't remember that I captured that moment or whatever. And I love that aspect of it. The bad aspect of it is that like sometimes you can't tell if you took a good photo or not, so sometimes it will come back and it's not that good of a photo, and then the moment that you thought you captured, you actually didn't. One thing I will say is make sure you always have the flash on. That was my mistake when I got a disposable camera for the first time again in years, like 2 years ago, I think it was 2022, and I completely forgot how to use a disposable camera because I hadn't used one since I was little, and I forgot to put this flash on a lot because you have to have it on even in the daylight. So that's a tip if you do get one. Yeah, I think it's just a fun way to capture your season, and then you can make like a little autumn scrapbook with the photos that you took. Next is eat caramel apples. I know a lot of people say make caramel apples. I find making caramel apples to be such a stress and so messy, so I don't love that much anymore. But eating caramel apples, I feel like it's something I have to do you have to do every season. I don't know, hopefully I'll be able to, because I had dentist work done and I can't like eat anything hard or sticky, so I have to like wait. I probably won't be able to until like the end of October, which sucks very bad. Like an autumn where I can't freaking eat apples and stuff. Oh my god, I can't even think about that. It makes me so mad. Anyway, next is explore a small town around you or a haunted town. If there's any towns that people claim are haunted, just go and, you know, go on a drive 1 hour away, whatever, and explore a small town. Maybe you live in a small town, go find, I live in a college town, so I love going to little more secluded small rural towns. A place I love to go during the autumn time and during the holiday time is a place called Frankenmuth, and it's like this little like Bavarian German town, a couple hours from where I live. Yeah, it's one of my favorite little towns to explore, but just like try to find those and take like a day trip or whatever and explore what autumn is like in a different town other than yours. Next is go to a fall fair or festival. This is something I always want to do, but for some reason there's like barely ever any that are close to where I live, so I don't know if I'll even end up doing this, or it comes to the day that it is and I'm just like I just don't feel like going. But I love the thought of like a Halloween, like, you know how they have it in the movies when there's like a Halloween carnival. I'm like, those literally, and it's like all themed Halloween. I'm like, I don't feel like those actually exist. Maybe in like very like specific towns, but I'm like, where I like, you're not finding like a Halloween like carnival or like fair, but like maybe a fall festival. But if you do have one around you, checking those out would be a fun thing to do. Next is a fall foliage tour, just driving around looking at the leaves. I usually like can't just like drive around aimlessly. I kind of need a destination, so a thing to do is like find maybe a cider mill or something that's like an hour or two away from you and take the scenic route. There is usually what I do, and get to look at be on the back roads and look at all the leaves changing on the trees. I feel like that's like a given thing. So next is going to a farmer's market or a produce market, if you know, even. Next is have a game night. I want to do this so bad, but it's really hard to get like my whole family on board with stuff. Nice jokes. I was gonna say play board games. Get on board and play board games. But yeah, play board games. You can do the tier listing that I was talking about, where you guys all sit around. If you can somehow get it on your TV, you guys can all sit around and do a tier list together, and you all have to like agree on where all the thing you are putting all the things on there. You could do a murder mystery. I know they have like murder mystery like board games, so maybe one of those. Clue. But yeah, just like a cozy game night with your family or with friends would be a fun little autumn night thing to do. Next is geocaching. I want to do this even though I barely know what it is. I think it's a thing where like you can get an app, and like there's people who like hide these things like around your town, or like little tubes and stuff, and put like trinkets or something in it. I don't even know. I probably should have done more research into exactly what it is. But then you get like the app and you can like track where they are, and you can go and like find them, and people put them on like trails or like wherever. I don't know. I'm sure you can find a video about what it exactly is, but I wanted to do it. But then I said to my mom, and she was like, that sounds like dangerous because they could be putting anything in there. So, I mean, I don't know, be cautious, I guess. But that's another thing that I heard of that sounds interesting to do during the autumn time, and a nice way I also think to get outside during the autumn. Next is go to the movies. This is just like, of course, every season, but I think, you know, if there's a more autumnal movie coming out, I know like the Beetlejuice movie's coming out this week, or maybe I guess if you like scary movies for Halloween, there might be a scary movie coming out. But yeah, just going to the movies in the autumn. Next is watch autumn Halloween movies. So obviously this is at your own house. Just watch. This is one I feel like, of course, everyone knows is something to do. Watching autumnal movies or Halloween movies. Next is have apple cider and donuts for breakfast. So obviously during the season people get apple cider and donuts. You go to a cider mill, but something I love to do is get apple cider donuts and save some, or just get the ones from the store, and at breakfast time just have cider and donuts for breakfast one day. Next is go to a haunted house or a haunted hayride. I've never been in a haunted house. I've never been in a haunted house before. I've never been on a haunted hayride before. I don't like scary movies, but for some reason I feel like I could do a haunted house and be fine. Not fine, like I'm sure I would get scared, not have like a panic attack. I might just be lying to myself. I always see if someone offered to take me to a haunted house, I could go, but no one ever has. But if that's something you like to do, that's obviously something to do. Haunted house, haunted hayride. I thought I could handle a haunted hayride, but then I saw some videos of it, and apparently like the scary things like jump on the hay. I thought it was just like you're on the hayride and you like see the things like out in the field and stuff. I didn't know that they could would jump up on the hayride. That's a no for me, because I'm like, then I can't escape you. At least in a haunted house I can run, get away. Next is go on just a hayride. I feel like I've done this most years. I didn't do it last year though. Usually you go to like a pumpkin patch or a cider mill and they probably will have a hayride to do. Next is make an autumn watch list or reading list. I did this. I made an autumn like watch list, like a loose one of like movies that I think I'd be interested in watching this season. Or you can, if you're a reader and you can get, I'm someone who I like to read, but I can only get through like one book a season unless it's like really good and I can't stop reading it. But if you're someone who can get through like 5 books in a week, make an autumn reading list of all the books you want to read for this season. Or if you like movies, make a list of all the movies that you want to watch this season. Or you could even do a thing where it's like one day a week, like you pick one day out of the week, like every Sunday you're gonna watch a Halloween movie or whatever. Next is tell/read ghost stories. I think this is so fun. I find it so cozy. For some reason I really like, even though I'm don't like scary movies and stuff, I really love like ghost stories. Maybe nothing to do with your family or friends or something. If you have like the ghost stories book, like I have some of the like scary stories to tell in the dark books. So like if you have those, gather your family around and read those, or find some online to read. Or I think there's like a whole bunch of like podcasts that like do the like tell like viewers like ghost stories and stuff like that, so you could just like get cozy and listen to one of those. Or maybe on YouTube, I'm sure there's like videos of people telling ghost stories. And next is go for a walk or a hike. This is another thing that I always want to do, but I always forget to do it. Like obviously I can just go on a walk, but like finding like a wooded area and like going for a walk, hike, a nice way to get outside and feel the autumn air. Next is try limited edition fast food, or just like restaurants, I guess, fall menus. So like a fast food place might get like, remember when like Burger King had like that ghost pepper burger, or how like I know McDonald's gets like a pumpkin spice like apple like pie or something. Like go around and try like limited edition fast food things, menus, or restaurants. I know some restaurants have like will have like their fall menu. Go and try those. Next is try limited edition grocery food items. How like Oreos usually has like, I know like pumpkin spice is a big thing, like to try all the pumpkin spice flavored things like bagels and creamer and all that stuff. So that's something you could do, is go and try all that. But just like any like autumn like snacks that they come out with, like the Oreos, they usually have different flavors, designs, even just packaging. Just go and you could do it with friends, and you guys could do a thing where you guys try a whole bunch of different grocery store autumn items. Next is do a fall photo shoot. Next is play autumn ambiences. So like on YouTube, people make those like ambience videos, and people will have one that's like autumn in the village or autumn in a creaky cabin or whatever. Just like putting those on in the background while you're just doing whatever. Some people will even have ones that are like playing like vintage autumn music. So just like playing that in the background while you're just going about your day or doing whatever is a good way to like get into the autumn vibes. Next is play outside / play football. When I was younger, growing up, me and my siblings would always like go outside during the autumn time and like throw around a football, especially on game days, because we lived right next to like the stadium, like down the street from the stadium. So we would always be able to hear when there was a game going on. We'd be able to hear like the announcers and all that. So we would go outside and throw around the football, listening to the announcers at the stadium, and also like watching everybody, all the like people walking to the game we would always see and stuff. But yeah, just playing outside. If you have a trampoline or something, I know even like as an adult, like, you know, get some like yard games or something and just spend some time outside taking in the nice autumn air and chill before it gets like freezing cold. For winter, you know, taking that nice transitional weather. Next is play autumn video games. So just like video games that kind of have the autumnal vibe. A game I see a lot of people talk about has autumnal vibe is, I think it's called Into the Night, I think. And you like play as like a cat or something, I don't know. I'm planning on trying to play that. I know some people like Animal Crossing, like they'll make their whole village like autumnal. Like obviously if you're into like the scary aspect of like Halloween and autumn, playing like the horror video games. A lot of people like The Quarry, even though it's technically a summer, it takes place in summer, but it's scary. So it still has that kind of autumnal vibe. It takes place at night. So yeah, just I'm sure there's like thousands of lists of like autumnal, like Life is Strange is another one I see a lot. You could probably find lists and lists of like seasonal games. Next is go to pop Halloween stores. So obviously Spirit Halloween is the main one. I love going there like a couple times each season and just like looking around at all this stuff, looking at all the animatronics. But where I live, usually they also have like, of course, like Party City tends to go more like Halloween, like they have more Halloween stuff. And then also there's Halloween City we used to get. I think we still sometimes do get that, but like a Halloween City, Party City, Spirit Halloween, just go and explore, even if you're not going to buy anything, or to get ideas. I know like that's one thing I like to do, is to go there and just look at the costumes. And because usually if I do wear a costume, it's probably going to be a homemade interpretation costume of whatever I want to be. But going there and like just getting ideas from all the costumes is a good idea. Next is press leaves. This is something that I always want to do, but I never end up doing. Going outside and getting whatever pretty leaves. You can find the red and the orange and the yellow leaves, and then you press them. How I did it, 'cause I did it with some flowers, is I know some people will just get wax paper and put 2 pieces under and on top of the leaves, and then you just put you stick them in. What I do is I stick them in a book, like a heavy duty book, and then I stack them with a whole bunch of other heavy books on top of them. I'm sure there's other ways to do it. I'm sure you probably find like a kit even to do it, but yeah, it's just like another fun like autumn crafting type activity. Press leaves, and also like the leaf change and die so fast, so like preserving them is also a fun thing to do. Next is pumpkin carving. This is something I literally have to do every year, even though I suck at carving pumpkins. I can think of like one time where I carved a pumpkin that I like actually truly liked, because I'm very much not an artist. Getting all the guts out of the pumpkin. I know people will literally have like pumpkin carving parties where they like invite people over and everyone carves a pumpkin, so that's something to do. Next, this goes with it, is go to a pumpkin patch and pick out a pumpkin. This is something that I've been doing for the last couple of years. Yeah, I love it. I love going there and like getting to pick out the pumpkin. I know like it's cheaper to like just buy one from the store, but I find it so fun to like go to a pumpkin patch and pick one out, especially because they have like all different shapes and sizes. Next is rake leaves and jump in leaves. I feel like we don't even get enough, like in our backyard, we don't even get enough leaves falling to rake them until like after Halloween, because we have a pretty open backyard. But break the leaves, which is like a chore, but you can make it fun, and then you can jump in the leaves if you have kids. If you have a trampoline, put all the leaves on the trampoline and then jump, and leaves go flying. It's kind of annoying obviously because you just rake them just to ruin them again, but you know, you only live once. Next is read books with autumn/Halloween themes. I plan to do this. I think I'm gonna read the book The Girl in White, and then if I finish that, I might try to read Something Wicked This Way Comes. So those are my 2 books that I want to read this season, and obviously I want to read like the scary stories to tell in the dark once in a while that take place in the autumn, describe the autumnal vibe in them. I know there's a lot of videos on YouTube for like recommendations for autumn themed books. So next is roast pumpkin seeds. I love doing this every year. Usually do it after you carve a pumpkin and get all the guts out. You save all the seeds and then you roast them in the oven and you like season them. It's one of my favorite things to do. We've been doing it since I was little, and it's a nice little snack. Next is shop at places that get autumn overhauls. I don't know if that's the exact wording I'm thinking of, but that's the word I'm using. So places that like get a whole lot of stock for autumn and Halloween, and just, you don't even have to buy anything, just going there and like window shopping. So places like Michael's, Home Goods, Marshall's, World Market, Hobby Lobby, like arts and craft stores, just even like Target. You go and look at all the like Halloween and autumn stuff. It's just like a good like window shopping or actual shopping. That's something I just love to do. I love to see all the new autumn and Halloween stuff. I like going to World Market and seeing any of the new seasonings or little autumn snacks or whatever. Next, this one is for a very specific fan base and group of people, so if you're not in that, just wait till the next one. Have a Taylor Swift themed fall day. You'll get what I'm saying if you're a fan of Taylor Swift. So like wake up and like go get maple lattes or make a maple latte. You can make her chai cookie recipe. I did it once and I didn't like them, and I think it's because she uses like eggnog icing, and I don't like eggnog. I like chai, but I'm not like that big a fan of it. But you can make those or make whatever, or just make a recipe based on her, or like just make cupcakes and decorate them to her or whatever. Go to like pumpkin patch or tractor rides, because she has that lyric in The Best Day where she says past the pumpkin patch and the tractor rides. And then make a Taylor Swift fall playlist that's just like all her songs that remind you of autumn. Take a drive upstate. Just like, and then at the end of the day, come home and watch the Eras tour, or if you want a more autumnal Taylor Swift thing, watch the Folklore Long Pond session. But yeah, just like have a full Taylor Swift themed fall day. Next is tailgate / watch football. Like I said, I grew up in a college town, so we used to I've been to like a handful of football games, and I just remember those so fondly. Like, I remember them so vividly, like going to the games. We never stayed the entire time because it was always got too cold. I remember like also my mom worked somewhere that was right by the stadium, and they would let people tailgate in the parking lot. So like I also have like that memory of like, I've never tailgated myself. I've sat there and like in the parking lot of the place my mom worked and watched everyone else tailgate, because I would sit next to the person who was taking the money for people to tailgate, like having whatever, you know what I'm saying? And so I would just stare and I would like watch and smell all the people like barbecuing and tailgating and stuff. So that's a very fond memory I have. So like tailgate, I remember like my town, like obviously so many people tailgating because of the football games at the college. But the funny thing is, I started watching football last year because of Taylor Swift. I started watching the Kansas City Chiefs games, and I can't believe I would have never in a million years thought I'd be able to say that I like understand how like football works, kind of. Like, I'm not fully, like, I couldn't tell you what like everything is, but like I get the like I know the general like rules and what each place on the field means, and like I know players' names now. It's a very weird experience. It's actually kind of fun when you actually kind of understand what's going on. So that's what I'm gonna do. Tailgate, watch football. Next is thrifting. This is literally on every season's bucket list. It's just a fun thing to do. I usually like to like shop for the next season on the season before. So like right now it's becoming autumn, so I would be shopping for like sweaters and stuff for winter. But obviously those are kind of 2 in 1. But yeah, just thrifting. Next is go trick-or-treating. Obviously if you're an adult, you're probably not doing this. I take my niece trick-or-treating. Next is watch autumn vlogs, like autumn YouTube videos like this one, like bucket list videos, or people will vlog like something. Like, I love seeing what autumn is like in other countries, in other states. So I love like watching people vlog autumn in like New York or in Tennessee or something, or in New England. I just love seeing that. I love watching those vlogs and seeing what everyone else does for autumn. And so that's something to do if you don't feel like sitting and watching like a TV show or a movie. Like, sit and watch some autumn vlogs. Next is watch autumn / Halloween episodes of kids shows from your childhood. So if you grew up watching like Nickelodeon or Disney or even Cartoon Network, you know that like a lot of shows would have their Halloween episodes. Like Disney used to have like the Scaretober or something, where it was just like the whole channel would be like themed to like autumn and Halloween. I don't know if they still do that, but obviously there's Disney Plus, and you can go and you can watch like all the old Halloween episodes of your favorite shows from when you were a kid. It's just another nostalgic thing to do, is watch those old episodes. Next is go to the zoo. I feel like this is considered such a summer thing, is go to the zoo, but I feel like going to the zoo would be much better in the autumn because it's not as hot. I've never done it, but I really want to. And even I know the zoo that's closest to where I live, they do like the zoo booth thing where you can like go trick-or-treating at the zoo. So like you can see if your any zoos around you do anything like that, especially if you have kids. Also, just going to the zoo in the autumn time where it's not as like hot. I know like maybe it's not that popular because a lot of animals are starting to like hibernate or something, I don't know. But yeah, that's something that I think should have happened more in autumn should be more of an autumn thing than it is. And lastly, I have go to a cabin or a KOA. I've never gotten to do this during autumn either, but I really wish I could. But if you have the ability to do it, again, I feel like, I mean, like, I guess it's cottages that are heavily associated with like summer and stuff, but I feel like it's such a cozy vibe to be in like a cabin or a cottage during the autumn time, especially if you live in somewhere that has like the seasons changing and you can watch like the autumn leaves in a secluded little thing on the lake, or a KOA. Because I think like obviously KOs are for a lot of like if you have like RVs, but I think you can, because they usually have like cabins at KOA, so like you can go and stay in a cabin in like a little KOA. That was my last one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was much longer than I thought it would be, and that's because I sure know how to talk. And I hope you guys stick around for my next videos. I'm planning on doing a updated Taylor Swift merch haul this month. And also I'm gonna try to do the movie theater videos. If you follow my channel, you know what I'm talking about. I want to do some more like autumn themed videos, but I already last year did like my like autumn Halloween movie collection video, so I don't know what else video I could do. If you guys have any ideas for like an autumnal or Halloween video I could do, let me know. I also wanted to do a video ranking or like talking about every outfit that Taylor Swift wore to like the Chiefs games. That's random. I don't know if I'll do that, but that was just an idea, kind of in line with like football and stuff and Taylor Swift pop culture stuff that I follow. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.